Welcome to mrdannylim.blogspot.sg. Today I'm going to cover a math heuristic. It's actually constant difference in money. This type of question is it looks hard, okay, when you first read it, but then if you know the method, it's actually very easy. Some parents, they use algebra to solve it and teach their children using that. Now, it's not wrong. You can use algebra to solve, okay, if your child understands it, okay. By right, your child should get very good at algebra nearing the end of P6, okay, because in Sec 1 no more model already. Sec 1 is all algebra, so to train your child in algebra is actually the way to go. But before that happens, let's say this question is a P5 exam question, okay, because it's not a P6 subject, not a P6 topic. So most probably by P5, okay, they will encounter such problems. Now, if they do not know algebra, there's actually a very simple method in understanding and doing this type of question. Okay, let's take a look at the question. Ruth has $2 and $5 notes. There are 19 more $2 notes than $5 notes. The total amount of $5 notes is $130 more than the total amount of $2 notes. What is the total value of $5 notes? Now, at first glance, your child, okay, or you, or even me, myself, okay, we will guess and check, because two types of things with number, okay, you have the total amount and you have the number, so most probably is guess and check. But this one, they did not give you the total number of notes. Okay, there's no total number of $2 and $5 notes. So the combinations is actually limitless. So I give you an example. It can be 50 $5 notes and 69 $2 notes. It can be 60 $2 notes and then 41 $5 notes. So many combinations. Okay, because the only clue to you is 19 more $2 notes. So guess and check is inefficient here. You're going to waste a lot of time guessing. Okay. Another method used to solve this type of question will be the constant difference method. Okay, I'm going to show you how. Now let's take a look at what we have, the information. Okay, we have $2 notes. Now this is the number of $2 notes. Okay, now let's say I have one $2 note, and I'm going to compare it with one $5 notes. $5 note. Okay, we know the difference is actually $3. Correct? Because one $5 is actually always $3 more than one $2 notes. Right? 5 minus 2 is what? 3. Now let's say I have two $2 note, then I have two $5 notes. Then it becomes 10 minus 4. So the difference is actually $6. Now this is very, very important. Okay? Because we know that the total amount of $5 notes, okay, the value that is more than the $2 notes is 130. We know that it's 130. So the difference is the thing that we are interested in. Okay, now let's take a look at the other information that we have. Now $2 notes, we have 19 more, so the bar should be longer. Okay, the bar should be longer than the $5 notes. Now how many notes more? We know that it's 19 more. Correct. Now once we have this, we cannot compare because we have 19 $2 notes more. Here, this method is only useful when you have equal number of $5 notes and $2 notes, right? Then you have 3 $5 notes minus 3 $2 notes. Then we know that it's $9 because it's always times 3, right? Because the difference is 3 for each set of $5 and $2. Now, in this case, the best way is to add them. Okay, you add 19 $5 notes first. Okay, you add 19 $5 notes. So 19 times $5, okay, which will give you 95. Okay, now we know that before we add this, we have $130 difference already. The value of $5 notes is always $130 more than the $2 notes. Now we need to add this one in 19 to $5 notes. Okay, so we have to plus the 95 in, which will give you 225. Now it's easy already because they have the same number. So we just need to find out how many sets we have here. how many sets of $2 and $5 notes in these two bar. Now how do you divide? Because the difference is 3. So actually you can have 225 divided by 3 will give you 75. Okay, so we know that if you divide, there are many times of 3. How many times of 3 is 75 times? So you know that there are 75 sets of $5 notes minusing the $2 notes. So the number is 75. Okay, now $2 notes we have 75. $5 notes is not 75 because just now we add in 19. So we need to have 75 minus 19, which will give us 56. There are actually only 56 $5 notes. Okay, so 56 times $5 will give us $280. Okay, now this is our answer. Okay, amount of the total value of $5 notes. 56 is the number of notes. $5 is the value, so 56 times 5 will give you 280. Now if you want to check, okay, now this is the checking. Okay, I encourage all my students to do checking so as to see if the answer that they got is really correct or wrong. Now we can use 75 times $2 because there are 75 notes. Okay, will give you 150. Correct? Now then we have 56 times $5, which will give you 280. Then the difference we can see is 130, which is coincide with in the question what we have. So we know that this is correct also. So the checking is correct. Okay? So this one, the method is very simple. Let me repeat. Okay? Now you just make the number of notes to be the same for both types. They will definitely tell you who has more notes and which note is more or which note is less. Okay, you just make them the same. Once you have the same, okay, remember one $5 note minus one $2 note is $3. So you just divide by the difference. Then you can see the number of sets that you have. Okay, 5 minus 2, 5 minus 2, 5 minus 2. How many 5 minus 2 can you have? Okay, so once you have that, then you take that total amount, divide by the difference, which is in this case 225 divided by 3 will give you 75. Now then you have to remember, okay, whatever that you added in just now on your own, you have to minus it out. Okay, if not, you will still get the wrong answer. Okay, so you add in first and later you take off again. Can? That's all for this method. I hope you are clearer a bit and you grow a bit and you learn a bit. Okay, every day we learn a bit and we are going to be better and better each day. Can? Okay, that's all for today. If you need, you can just rewind this and then just watch again. It's not difficult. Okay, practice more. Find such questions and then go and practice. Okay, 7 times at least. Then you can acquire the skill. Okay, thank you very much. See you again. Bye.